This year, you might run into this if you go to the back roads because quite a few are closed due to the heavy, wet spring rains we had. Lots of rain this year. It's very green in the Black Hills, but that means some of the trails are washed out and they're not impassable, but the Forest Service wants to keep you off of them. I'm on my way to Nugget Gulch right now, which is one of my favorite rides, although it is a ride where I took a pretty good spill a few years ago and ended up with both wheels on my motorcycle up in the air, and I was out by myself as now, and it was quite a task raising the bike, which is one of the reasons now I go on a little bike, my little 310, which is under 400 pounds, and even if I'm out in the very far away from everything, as long as the bike is running, I can pick it up and get going again. But let's go on to Nugget Gulch now.
Okay, as usual, I like to start with a map. This is a map of Nugget Gulch, the yellow line. The easiest way to get there is to go to Hill City, find China Gulch Road about 2 miles east of Hill City on Highway 16 and go straight north. You'll run right into Nugget Gulch at the high end, and then you'll drive to the lower end. Another way is to go up 385 until you hit Edelweiss Mountain Road. Follow that about 6 miles. That's 6 miles up that direction, and you'll see the junction there. The third way is to go to Silver City. Go south about 2 miles on Edelweiss Mountain Road to Silver City, and you'll find the junction. If you do that, you'll be riding up the canyon. A side trip there is you can take some of these roads indicated on this map, which are very good. A lot of scenic overlooks there, and they're kind of fun. They are in and out. You go in and you come out the same way you get in. The junction for those are right along China Gulch Road, or Nugget Gulch Road at that point. Okay, let's get started here. For this video, I am riding my BMW 310 GS, and it's my little bike. It's a good bike for this road. I like it, primarily because if I fall over, I can pick it up. That's a great redeeming feature for an adventure bike or a dual sport or whatever you have. The road is pretty good. You can drive this road, or you could take this road on an ATV. You can use a UTV. You can use a 4x4. And if you're adventurous, you could probably make it in an ordinary civilian car or ordinary SUV. It's not a difficult road. If you're riding a motorcycle, as I am in this video, you may run across some rocky portions with loose rocks. You may also see a couple muddy parts. But basically, it's a pretty easy road to ride on a bike. You can hike it. If you want to hike it, it's about 2 hours up and back, or 3. To ride the road itself is probably about a half-hour ride from one end to the other. You can stop and look at a few things, although there's no historical sites on this road. There are quite a number of nice views from the road, and it can be a little bit scary if you are afraid of heights, because a portion of the road is some distance above the creek. The road itself follows the creek down the canyon, and just kind of winds alongside the creek all the way down. I like to ride on the high side of the road when I'm on a bike. You don't have as many ruts, and it tends to be a little drier. But everybody has their own way of doing it. Here's an example of some rough parts. This is not a terribly difficult road, even on a bike. I don't know if I'd want to take a big road bike down this road or not, but certainly an adventure bike, it's no problem at all. It's mostly treed, and as you get further into the road, the canyon walls kind of close in on you, and it gets a little tighter. Somebody asked me what's the difference between a gulch and a canyon and a draw. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Um, Around here, we tend to use them interchangeably, and sometimes you see what's called a gulch, and it looks exactly like what somebody else might call a canyon. Um, I suspect if there's a water stream in the bottom, it's a draw, uh, which if it's a canyon, it doesn't necessarily need to have a water stream to, all of them have high sides, let's put it that way. This particular road, it narrows up where you get down to certain areas where there's only the road, the creek, and the walls, the canyon walls. So it does close in on you, and it's it's kind of a fun road. Uh, it's a good road if you like Black Hills scenery. There's plenty of rocks and things to look at. Occasionally you see wildlife. Most of the time not, though. You may see some deer, but I haven't really seen a lot of wildlife on this road. There are no mines or anything. Um, if you are a little bit squeamish when it comes to heights, there is a portion of this road that's some distance above the canyon floor. Probably in the range of 30 to 40 feet above the canyon bottom. As always, there's no guardrails or anything, so if you go off the edge, well, you might be found eventually. There's almost always water in the stream. Um, if you do ride this road, you're supposed to have a Forest Service road pass. It is considered a trail, so you do need to have a Forest Service trail pass to ride it legally. It is maintained by the Forest Service, so the trees are cut. They do take care of stream crossings and um, it's graveled in parts, but mostly it's just native stone that's been graded. Uh, if It's not a year-round road, so it's only open from May 15th to December 15th, so winter riding is not available here. Okay, we'll stop and take a look. There's the creek down below. It looks like it's about 40 feet down, I'd say. I mean, if you want to ride it and run down there with a tape measure, you're certainly welcome to do that. And correct me if I'm wrong. But it seems like it's about 40 feet down. Just an eyeballing it. Okay. At certain times of the year, this road can be busy. It's not really on the radar of a lot of ATV people, but it probably will be. When I cross these crossings, I like to stay in the gravel portion. Generally, there's gravel that washes into those little square blocks there. I've never got a wheel caught between those blocks, but I guess it might be possible. I don't know. They're far enough apart that it could spoil your day. I know this one crossing that's coming up is where I had a little issue. I believe it was this one right here. I was speeding through. The water was quite deep. It was quite higher than it is now, and I kind of lost it and tipped over. Actually, I believe it's this one, not that last one. The water was very deep here, and I got up a little bit higher here, and whooped, over she went. And I picked it up and went on. Kind of, that's what you do if you ride a bike. You kind of expect that. The water crossings are kind of fun. They're not, this is about average. They could be deeper or shallower, but there's almost always water there. Anyway, this is Nugget Gulch Road. We're coming to the end of it here where this car is parked. Once we cross this and go past the car, we'll be up on Edelweiss Mountain Road, which you go right, you'll end up on Highway 385. You go left about 2 miles, you end up in Silver City. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.